Hello and welcome to everybody here. Thank you, all of you. There's so many of you. It's great. So exciting. My name is Alison Moore. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a croquet player. We're a bit of a croquet family. David, my husband, is England player, and my dad is Wales player and coach and referee and anything and everything. So I am here to talk to you about the marketing concept that we've come up with recently. This is, can I ask people to mute? I think I've got a bit of feedback somewhere. You wouldn't mind muting.
It's you. We should be able to mute everybody in one go. Can you do that, Paul?
We have some picnic clips out there.
Sorry?
Did we have quick clips, you or those people?
Well, it'd be you who set it up. I haven't done anything.
Paul, are you able to mute everyone or not? Not really. Not sure. Okay, there looks like lots of people have.
Sorry, that has muted everybody.
That's okay. You muted
Right.
me as well. I got that. Okay. Hi everyone again. Okay. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to promote croquet because that's our job. And we're trying to do this in two ways. One, we would like to promote the idea of supporting your fellow croquet players. So this is promotion within, promotion internally. And we would like to really start to get behind our county's team. We want people to be proud of being part of their county's team. We want people to try and get better and better to become part of their county's team. And this starts at club level all the way through. And so I want to emphasize that this isn't just about promoting it to the outside world, although obviously that's what we want to do as croquet players as a whole. We all want more croquet players to come in and join us. We love our sport and we just want to share it. So, but, you know, we do want to promote the idea of support within, and that actually will help promote it externally as well. So promoting the sport externally, because we're thinking of you, well, we are going to use Facebook. Facebook is literally a giant word of mouth. But instead of popping down the pub, or instead of going to your local games evening, or wherever it is you might go to meet people, and you have a little natter and you say, this is what we're up to, Facebook is that world just online. And so your friends around you, whoever you may be, can see what's going on. So we all know that Facebook works quite well as marketing for certain things. And croquet is one of those things. It has worked relatively well. We know that we have gained interest from friends and family members, but then also from other communities, because other communities within our areas, for example, you might have a mummies group. I say that because I'm mummy of a 3-year-old, and so I'm part of mummy groups, and people on the mummy group, they share, oh, here's a Zumba class that I'm part of, and I might share, well, I'm about to go and play in a croquet tournament, and so different communities and different groups can also share these stories to help us promote our sport. So that's why we're doing it. I'm gonna share my screen shortly and show actually how the Facebook page works, physically, how you use a Facebook page if you are going to be a member, and the sorts of things that you might type or actually share with other people. The marketing committee are going to be sharing stories and information on the main CA website, CA Facebook page, sorry, Croquet Association Facebook page. And there'll be two main messages going out in the near future. One will be that we are promoting a new kind of membership, which is garden membership. So the idea is families at home, they don't have to be a member of a club yet. They can be a garden, have a garden membership, and they get access to all of the tools and the learning tools and the information and the rules and the laws on the CA website. And they'll be able to access I guess all the information, you know, the useful contacts, and see where all their local clubs are quite quickly and easily. But they'll also have access to the Gazette, for example. So they'll get to start to know what's going on in the world of croquet as a sport. This is quite exciting, and I think this is going to work really well alongside National Croquet Week, because we can then promote the idea of supporting your county with have a go at home. So what will happen is the marketing committee will be sharing this news through the main CA website, and then we'll be hoping that all the counties' pages will also share that out to whoever watches their page as well. There will be the second main message will be all about the Croquet England, the launch of Croquet England. So at the moment we have a new website, which is croquetengland.org, I think, and that will that we're still currently the Croquet Association. At some point our name will be changing, and then that will be the launch of Croquet England. So I will mention that in the lead up to the National Croquet Week, what the marketing committee have been authorised to do is commission an external marketing and PR company, and they will be taking all the stories, local stories from your clubs, and promoting them essentially for you or helping you. Okay, so we are asking, if you're doing something special for National Croquet Week, or you're running a tournament or an event or whatever it might be, please let us know. The email we'd like you to use is communications@croquet.org.uk, and that email will come straight through to the marketing committee, and we can pass all these dates and information on, in the hope that obviously you'll try and do your own local marketing, but maybe we can help get some more national marketing for you alongside. This hasn't been done before. We're trying. We're all triers, we know that. So hopefully this will help us all as a community grow our sport together. So I've waffled on, I think, for long enough. I'm going to now share my screen and talk about the actual administration of a croquet, of a Facebook page, obviously a county's Facebook page, but I'll talk about general. And while I'm on the subject, if there's anyone out there that would like help building a Facebook page for your club, please do get in touch. Again, email us communications@croquet.org.uk, or if you just want to phone someone for a chat, you can. My number's on the CA website. You can phone me. I don't mind. It's fairly simple, and once it's set up, it's even simpler. Okay, so always happy to try and help, and I'll take questions at the end anyway. So we can maybe talk in more depth if you like. So I'm going to share my screen with you now, hopefully. One moment, and this hopefully is going to work. Here we are. Okay, so here is this is my Facebook page. So I'm logged in, and I can tell that because in the top right hand corner there's a picture of me and my husband. And I can see this is my feed. So this is a personal croquet feed, personal Facebook feed, my personal account. So I can see stuff about my friends or people advertise stuff to me. Okay. When I'm an administrator of a Facebook page, I will be able to find the different pages and act as those pages by clicking on me, on my picture. Now, bear in mind, I've got quite a few. So if you chose to help, and we welcome as many people to be administrators and moderators as possible, this is how you would access your page, but you probably wouldn't have a long list like me. So here is my list of pages when I see all profiles. And there is a nice long list there. So the first thing I am going to go to is Hertfordshire County Croquet, because that's my team. That's who I'll be representing this time round, this year. And so you can see my picture has changed up here. And that's how I know that I'm acting as the right person. So I'm not acting as me, Alison. I'm now acting as the Hertfordshire County Croquet page. This is just a feed, so it's going to show you adverts. This is for the person, for the administrator, and it's usually you don't need to look at it. If I click on Hertfordshire County Croquet up here, I can then be taken to what our page actually looks like, and this is live, so you could go and see it now. This is what our page looks like to the outside world. And so on every single county, well, I hope anyway, and if I've missed anyone, please do let me know and I will correct things. There were a couple of counties that perhaps weren't represented, and so we didn't get information from them, but most of the counties have had a page set up for them already, and at some point we will be asking people if they want to be administrators. Each Facebook page has got a few things in common. It's got a picture of either a team, if I could find one, or some of their players, or indeed a picture of the Southwick, or I think I use Southwick rather than Compton, but all of these can be changed. But I wanted to have something there for you to see already. So Hertfordshire, this is our team here, and I will have put a post up about that's more personal to the team. It's very similar. All of them are very similar. It says who the club is, it says where the event is, but then there might be something a little more personal, and also something maybe about the golf croquet, because although we are launching this for the Association Croquet over the Association Croquet Intercounties Week, it's really important that we remember there are 2 events here, and the golf croquet event can then hopefully build upon what we already have. This is the hope. So I've set there's some counties that only do AC or GC, and all counties have a Facebook page, even if they only have representation in one of the codes. So we can now scroll down, and you'll see that I've added hopefully the right badge, logo, whatever they're called. So that's the standard that is shown on every county Facebook page at the moment. Now, when you are an administrator, you will be able to add new things, new posts, and new stories. So I have one prepared, just and it's very, very simple, and it's just like using your own Facebook page if you have one. So you click on what's on your mind, and you add some text, some information, some text, which I've already prepared because I didn't think you'd want to watch me type. And then I shall add a little picture. So here's my picture here. Obviously I can have this deleted if I need to, but this is about growing awareness of our sport. And so we want stories, lots of pictures, because this is what's going to help people be attracted to the pages and then want to get behind their counties. Even if they're not a croquet player, we hope that they will start to go, oh, you know, Hertfordshire have got, like, they're going to be great. This year they're going to be great. They're going to win and it's going to be amazing. We've got to get behind them, surely. It's quirky enough, but, you know, let's give it a go. So I can then click my post and off it goes. Anybody who already likes this post will see it in their personal feed, and there might be other pages. So maybe Hertfordshire Bowls Club are affiliated with us, they're friends with us, who knows, and they might see that. And if people think that that the stories are interesting enough, they will share them. Okay, and that's how we start to build this word of mouth awareness. So another example of that's creating a post there, an example of sharing a post. I've got a few. So for example, the Surrey County page, I won't actually log in as them, but you can see they're here, their page. If I was logged in as them, I'd see their badge up here. They might think to share a story about Jamie. So Jamie Birch is part of Reigate. And if I come down here somewhere, so I haven't quite got all his picture in, but he's now the sports person of the year in Reigate. So that is a real good story for Surrey to be able to post. So you might say, maybe I will. Let's change it. So let's change myself to Surrey. There's my Surrey. Okay, so I'm now acting as Surrey, and I'm viewing the Reigate. No, I'm not. I will though. Yeah. So I'll now view Reigate Croquet Club. And so whilst I'm acting as Surrey, if I come down here, I can now share this as my page. So this isn't sharing as me as Alison, this is sharing to me and my page, the Surrey page. So I'll share to my feed, and I can write a little story, and I'll include the original post. And so my story might be something like this: Surrey's own Jamie Birch, and go Surrey, and I'll share that. Now, if I then show you what that looks like on the actual page, I can click on my profile, and then hopefully there it is, there's the shared post. Okay, so that's the idea behind sharing other croquet clubs information and news, which gets down to the people. And if anyone knows anything about marketing, people sell to people, because that's what we want. We want to do what somebody else is doing. We want to, help another person. It's just in our nature. So I'm now going to look at another sort of successful, what I think is a successful relationship. So this is Nailsy Croquet Club. They are regular sharers. You can see they've shared the Croquet Association's post. They have shared Croquet New Zealand's post, and all of this sharing means that they're gathering people in their area that like them, but like all the news that they show. And this is what we hope to recreate on the county's pages. These guys also have an affiliation with this page, which is Nailsy Active. And so within Nailsy Active, I think there was a post somewhere where a chap from Nailsy Active actually went over to the Croquet Club and took some selfies with Kathy, who's there, and said, look where I am, which is an amazing thing, because these guys have got, 2,400 members. And so getting that kind of affiliation between community groups will really, I believe, will really help your local club, because this, yes, of course we want it nationally, but let's face it, we also want to promote local croquet. We want to promote croquet in your clubs. So that's a sort of a whiz round of the Facebook page, what we're trying to do and how one might use the Facebook page. I will probably go through, once people want to be administrators, I'll go through how to add them. I'll just stop sharing now. So I can go through how to add administrators, administration and moderating a Facebook page. is probably somewhat of an art on its own. That unfortunately it's social media and there's spam, and you can't really get away from it. My advice is, if it's clearly spam, remove it and ignore it or report it. It's quite simple. I can always go through these sorts of instructions because I know a lot of people are worried about Facebook and having a Facebook account and logging in. So if needed, perhaps I could do another seminar on that sort of information. I'm not a huge expert, but I'm happy to talk for England. So I think I'll leave it there and see open floor. Has anyone got any questions for me? No questions in the chat.
Well, I've stuck in the chat the email address. So if you want to copy and paste that onto your computers, you can do that for sending information through too.
I can't see any hands up either.
If you want to speak, remember you need to unmute yourselves, or if you stick a hand up, I can unmute you.
Oh, Jonathan Powell, do you have a question? Please unmute.
I may have missed a bit at the start, sorry, in terms of the introduction, but in terms of, I mean, clearly you, the marketing committee, has some sort of plan or strategy to use Facebook and spread the word amongst clubs, counties, whatever. How is that message getting out to all the clubs? I mean, is this being shared with everybody in terms of a note, a paper? How is this being done? Because you've got a group of people here, which some of this may fall on stony ground, one or two may pick it up, but in terms of sharing it with everybody, what is the plan?
Well, one part of the plan will be that I'm hoping an article will be in the Croquet Gazette about this seminar, which will come out in April. So that gives a little bit of time for people to get involved. So, but the Gazette won't be coming out for another 4 weeks. So before that, there will be obviously on the CA Facebook page, the CA membership website that has already got a link to this seminar, which has obviously introduced this idea. But I hope that we will put more information up there alongside the CA office sending out requests for help or notes about what we're doing to, I think it went to the secretaries, is that right, of the clubs?
To all the secretaries and the federations, and Marcus said once the webinar's over he's going to send the links out to everybody as well.
Yeah, so once I've got a few, it's a bit of a chicken and egg as it is with most marketing. But once I've got a few Facebook pages that are sort of active, if you like, so somebody is actually monitoring it and posting every now and then, I can then hopefully use those on the CA Facebook page as well to promote them. So you obviously need activity to then promote more activity, but I'm going to be in charge of Hertfordshire because
Sure. I mean, you say there are county pages. I mean, is there a Dorset county page? I mean, it would be a slight surprise to me, or is it entirely somebody, or you're doing it, Alison?
No, I've done it. So I've created 26 or something, 28
well done you.
Facebook pages, which are there and ready to. The idea, obviously, it was an idea, and we kind of thought, well, people could do their own, but then who does that? And yeah, so I thought if it was there already, so already set up, and all people have got to do is just get on and use it, maybe that will help the situation. So that's what we've done.
Okay.
And Jonathan, if you didn't join at the start, you may have missed that we're also getting involved a marketing / PR company who will be making sure that we get lots of press stories out both nationally and locally during the week in the build up to launch of Croquet England. But also that's why we need all of that information about what different clubs are doing coming in centrally, so we can feed it to that company to get it out there.
Okay,
does
but
help?
that feeding of information doesn't have to happen on Facebook. It can just be sent into the right place to then be
Yeah,
distributed in clever
Yeah,
ways.
hence the send everything to communications at
Sure,
the one
yeah,
we've posted in there.
Sure. Okay.
I will probably be sat here putting some posts on, because not all counties will have somebody that has the appropriate knowledge or just the will to
I
want
think that's
to
a fairly safe bet, Alison. So,
but I am already aware of this, and I'm also, you know, I'm happy to do this. I just have to wait until my son is asleep and I can do it in the evening. But I'm hoping that it will be taken up by some clubs. You know, if we can get some young people that actually you know, they know how to use Facebook, and you know, that would be ideal as well. But we'll see. Does that answer questions anyway?
There is a question in the chat from John Wakeford. I am almost tempted to ask John why he's come along here if his club are not interested in the promotion of National Croquet Week. It looks pretty clear to me that we need to try and get some extra lawns for his club, and or some more clubs in the area if there's a waiting list waiting there. And I suppose the other thing to think about is we will also be promoting garden croquet memberships, so we can at least bring them into the croquet fold.
Can I just add to that, because John has very gracefully asked, how can I persuade his club that Facebook is worthwhile? One of the reasons why I think Facebook is worthwhile, even if you're not wanting extra members, it's to show that you care about your members. I absolutely love it when I get a picture of, you know, I mean, the other day, you know, Debbie's on the call. And so Debbie is you know, she's our women's world champion. She's also a great friend of mine. And her picture pops up on my Facebook. Here's a winner, and this is my friend. And I am super proud. I get to share that with all the people that I know. This isn't necessarily just about promoting a club. This is about us as a community going, we love our sport and we're going to share it. But that's my opinion. Should we, I hope that answers the question. Feel free to ask again.
can I leap in with one? I mean, I know very little about social media and Facebook, you know, hands up about that. But I understand what I hear is that Facebook is slightly dying amongst the youth, and that there are other ways of sharing information. Is that fair, Alison?
Yeah, it's definitely fair to say that amongst the youth, and when I say youth, of course, I always like to put myself in that bracket, but I'm not anymore. However, who is our real target market? Okay, we do want youngsters to join our clubs, and we want youngsters to play in our, you know, in our teams, because they are the ones that are going to represent our company, our country, I think. Just because, you know, if you've got somebody that starts learning at the age of 8, generally speaking, by the time that they're 20, they're probably going to be better than somebody who just started at 20. It's common sense, okay?
Sure,
However, for our sport to continue to grow, this isn't all about getting in just the youngsters. This is about going out to, you know, 40, 50-year-olds who their children have grown up. They've got time on their hands. Maybe they're taking early retirement. Maybe they're not, but they just want something to do at a weekend because they're no longer rushing their kids around to football camps or whatever they're doing. You know, it's a lifestyle thing. And don't forget, these people can be really competitive, and you know, they can really help our sports maintain and then grow. So that's my answer.
Okay. Yeah.
And sorry, my answer is those people, they are on Facebook.
Okay. What, the Instagram, TikTok generation are also on Facebook, are they?
They're on Facebook, they just might not use it very often. But the 40s, 50s, the ones with the kids that are grown up,
Okay.
they are on Facebook. And I know that because I am, and my mum is, and even Dave is, and Annabelle's put her hand up. She is, you know, we are, because I hate to say it, but we are the generation that are playing right now. And if we can encourage more of our generation, then why not? So,
We've got a few more questions in the chat.
So Rob says, I wonder why this is organised at county rather than club level. I'll just take that one first, because I couldn't set up 800 different Facebook pages. So it was a bit easier for me. I was being a bit lazy maybe, but to set up just the pages for the counties. Our county team gets together once a year for a few days somewhere on the south coast, but have no continuity. That's not really a question, I guess, but good luck. You're going to need it, because Hearts to bring in a game this year. So Phil says, is there a list of the counties you have set up for Facebook? Yes, there is. And what I will do is I'll put that list and all the links to those Facebook pages on a post on the CA website. I think that's probably the best thing to do, isn't it? But I'll probably pop it on the CA Facebook page as well, because that's what we're trying to promote. So is there any other questions? I see no hands up yet.
Can I just follow up with Rob's question about the county, why not club? As Alison said earlier, she's happy to set up Facebook pages for your clubs if you don't have one and you'd really like one. But also, if it's county, then we can get all the clubs within a county to be posting on there, and it becomes a really lively, active site, and therefore would be visited more with lots of sharing. So it'd be really useful, could be a really useful Facebook page.
And it's also about something that people can identify with. So, you know, if your club is just in a small place, other people in your county might not identify with it, but most people tend to identify with a county. So if you like, we're slightly playing on petty nationalism, if you like, as a way to draw people in and get their interest and have a wider remit for where our message might get passed on.
Is Warwickshire County Council, Warwickshire
I think so.
County Club, Warwickshire County, sorry, County Croquet. I believe it is, but I would need to find it. Yes, it is. Yeah, I'll put it in the chat for you. Here we go. There's the chat, and there's
that's not spelt correctly. We need to look at that.
Sorry, it is. I just typed it wrong. Let's try this. There you go. Yay. There's the one. So yes, it is. I think there was only 2 counties that I really couldn't do because I genuinely didn't have any information for them. And we did try and contact some county team team leaders, captains, but we couldn't get more information. So Andy Dibben says, I used to be able to see the Surbiton and CA Facebook pages. However, I don't have a Facebook account, and it now seems that you must have one to see the pages. I believe that the way that the pages have been set up, you don't have to have an account to view it. So I will, but I'm happy to be proved wrong.
Okay, I've just literally tried to access these Croquet England Facebook page, and it won't let me on anymore. It used to.
Okay.
Even on the CA website.
If I share my screen.
Okay.
So what I've done here is I've gone to the Warwickshire County Croquet page, and when I get there, I get this message. So I'm not logged in because I'm in an incognito browser. And so if I allow cookies, either one, I guess, I can actually see the post.
Okay.
So I think it's limited. I think it is limited as to what you can see, but it is certainly there. My question would be, I mean, if someone's just not on Facebook, then they're probably just not interested. So, you know, they would find out information in a different way, perhaps. I'll stop sharing. Does that help? Sorry.
I don't know. All I know is that I got the same page. On the bottom, it says log in or create an account. And as soon as I tried to scroll to see that page, it just all went blank and it wouldn't let me do anything. So I couldn't even see that page. It just froze. Maybe some setting on my machine.
I'm not, I don't have a personal Facebook account, but I just clicked on the link in the chat and I could get in without any problem. So that may be something in your settings, Andy.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it could be, so there's several different
Yeah,
things.
that's true, actually. Yes, I could do that one. But when yes, that's not my settings. It must be something to do with the Croquet Association site, because if on the Croquet Association site, I get that same thing, log in or create a new account. But as soon as I try and scroll, it comes up with you must have an account or something. I've forgotten what it said now. Let me just double check what it said.
We can have a look at it at some point.
Yeah.
Definitely. There's a question, Ian Robertson. Can you elaborate the garden membership? Is it active now as a form of membership? I believe it is, but I think I'm going to hand over to Paul.
Yeah, garden membership's available. If you go to join the CA pages, you'll find garden membership in there. Off the top of my head, I think it's £10 a year. For that, you get the Gazette, basically, and you get, I think it's a 2% discount in the shop. So that's what you get, but it's really about trying to connect with these people, bring them into the wider Croquet family, and from that try and encourage them to get involved in the sport more generally, be it joining clubs or whatever. And there are plans to have a national garden croquet championships. Probably 2024 will be the first of those, but it is now an active category, and I believe there might even be a couple of people who've joined that way already.
You also get the rules of garden croquet, I think, available to members.
Okay, so
but we don't want you all just joining in that form, because it's a cheap way of joining the croquet.
Could I just say that those of you who aren't happy with Facebook, that don't want to set up with Facebook, don't forget that we are using a marketing agency to really promote National Croquet Week. And so please still send through any information you have about your clubs, any fun days you're going to have, anything of note, of interest. You've got a star coming through the ranks, as it were, or some local event you're going to do. Please send that through to, what was it, communications@croquet.org.uk. Send that through to us, because we can make sure the marketing agency uses that information. So even if you're not going to be putting something yourself on the site, we can try and get it out there for you.
Has anyone else got anything that they would like to discuss? We are marketing, after all. It doesn't have to be just Facebook. Is the marketing company accessible to local clubs? Paul?
The marketing company will be working to us centrally, which is why if clubs can send through any information about things they've got on, we can feed it to them to put out there. And particularly if you can also give us a contact, because they may want to talk to that contact.
I believe the marketing company will be purely for the launch of Croquet England, which includes National Croquet Week, won't it? It's not an ongoing agreement.
Yeah, it's just for National Croquet Week, so it'll be sort of promoting things during National Croquet Week, which is why any events you have on during that 10-day week, we'd really like. I've just stuck in the chat the how to join the garden croquet thing.
However, it's worth noting that if you do have, obviously, you know, we can't afford to have an external marketing and PR company all the time, hence why we have a committee of us volunteers to do it. However, as volunteers, you know, we're always happy to discuss different ways of marketing, and I know that Paul would always be happy to send out information to a bank of kind of, he's got news outlets that he could send information out to, press releases, etc. So, you know, I think it's still worth getting in touch with us, because I'm sure we can try and help. Rob says, is Croquet England not yet fully launched? There's a website already.
This is the, if you like, the official launch of Croquet England and of Croquet Association becoming Croquet England. We built the website on the name Croquet England because we knew the change was about to happen, and you don't want to, you know, suddenly change the name once you built the website. But this is the, if you like, the official launch of Croquet England.
It might be worth just noting at this point why we have a new website, and it's because the marketing committee and amongst other interested parties wanted a website that was much more focused for the outside world. So our Croquet Association website, which, you know, we all know and love, is got masses and masses of information. But as somebody coming along that just wants to see a very quick brief of, you know, a news about a croquet or something very quick, it's quite, you know, it can be quite overwhelming. So this was more a website which was going to hopefully help us promote to more to the general public, as opposed to providing information internally. George says, is there a register of clubs within Facebook pages? Not really, no. So I mean, I know that there are a lot of clubs that do have Facebook pages, but there's no list anywhere. I mean, you can search in Facebook for croquet clubs and it will show you that exist, and there are lots and lots. So I'm not sure whether we, I guess we could build that list. The Croquet Association Facebook page, which I also help with, we try and follow all of the other clubs, but it can, you know, there's quite a few out there.
The trouble is, Alison, I'm just looking at trying to find clubs, and we've got a Facebook page and we've got about 94 followers at the moment down in Plymouth, but actually it's just looking for other croquet clubs. It's actually quite difficult because not much comes up. You're putting in the search and in there, and of course it's been done at county level, and it just seems to me that we don't have a lot to do with the county. We tend to be federation focused rather than county focused. Yeah, we're trying hard to put it out, but to try and find out, I mean, I had to type in the name of the club I wanted to look at just to see what you had just posted, for example, at Hertfordshire. Sure. I had to spell it and put it in, because that's it didn't come up when I searched for croquet clubs or something in the Facebook page, and that's it doesn't occur.
Okay, more often than not, people don't really use Facebook to search for things. They'll use Google, perhaps, you know, because you want to search for a website. Facebook isn't really, people do use it. I'm not saying people don't use it at all for search. People do. I know people that, you know, they look for jobs on Facebook. They use Facebook for all sorts of different things. Generally speaking, though, for a marketing campaign, it's not really about somebody searching for us. It's more about us being able to put our information out there, and then other people then sharing it. So, for example, you're in Plymouth, you might not necessarily go seeking for the information about Hertfordshire County Croquet. It's, you know, but however, if your buddy was a member and you wanted to see if Simon Hathrall was on Facebook, you might search Simon Hathrall and he won't come up because he's not on Facebook, but this post will.
Yeah.
You know, and so you might go, oh my God, look, there's that guy that I knew at school or whatever it might be. And then you share it and then other people see it and then people think, oh my God, he does croquet. Oh my God, he's the team captain.
Yeah,
That's sort of how it works generally in my world.
yeah. I think perhaps we're a different generation because we actually do get people searching and we do get inquiries through it and people wanting to play and things like that. That works for us more as much as the web page. So, but yeah, I mean, I agree. There are probably 700. Well, there aren't 700 Facebook pages for clubs in the UK, but yeah, it's just finding them, and
Yeah, and
it may not be necessary.
This is basically why we're doing this, though. We're just trying to do whatever we can to help. It might not be for everybody, and that's fine. It might help somebody that we didn't know it was going to help, which would be great. So, you know, there are some successful campaigns out there that we just don't know about. But, you know, we're just, like I said, we're a marketing team and we're trying to come up with new ideas to help out.
Yeah, and I think on your other points at all, because we think in federations, yes, we probably do as croquet players think in federations, but how many members of the public think, oh, I'm in the Southwest Federation or wherever it happens to be. Perhaps if you're in Yorkshire and it's a federal area, then you think I'm in Yorkshire. But so most of the rest of us don't really have a clue where we sit federation wise.
No, I'd agree with that. But yeah, that's fine. It's just, yeah, I'm just thinking of a way of getting the croquet clubs in more, even within the croquet association, and give them more prominence there. But maybe it's not necessary. Thanks anyway.
But George, really happy to have a chat offline if you want to as well, to think about other ways. You know, this doesn't have to stop at this Zoom meeting. Okay. You can find it on the website.
You can always find us on the Facebook page.
Sure, apparently so. I will look, definitely, and I will like your Facebook page.
Oh, there you go.
You'll have another like, don't worry. Rob, should we stop referring to the CA in our communications? Then I'm going to say not right now because it hasn't actually happened. But yes, when it's actually happened, we probably should. And you're updating your club website. Has Wales been abandoned? Great that you're updating your club website. I don't think Wales has been abandoned. I think that they just have their own croquet association. Paul?
Yeah, that's right. So there is a separate croquet association for Wales. Yeah, try and stay on Croquet Association until the launch, which is likely to be on the Tuesday of the intercounties, because it's a working day when we can hopefully get the media along to it. But if you're updating links, then please do put your links to the new Croquet England site now, because the more links we can get going to that rather than the old site, the faster we'll get up our Google rankings.
I also think maybe to help with a little confusion, the website at the moment is, it's croquet.org.uk, and that website will continue. It's a members website. So yes, it will be rebranded. It won't say the Croquet Association once the change has happened, but that site will exist in its entirety still. It may at some point move to another domain, so another link, but that will happen in the future, and it will be communicated as and when it needs to happen.
Can I just ask Alison?
Yeah.
As you know, I'm sort of looking after the creation of the CIO Croquet England, and I can tell you it's not up and running yet, but I hope we're getting quite close, But the way it works is that they delay for hours sometimes, and sometimes for weeks. So what happens if we're not up and running by
It's not, John, it's not the launch of the charity, it's the launch of the name and the brand Croquet England, which is completely different from becoming a charity. Yeah.
Well, it's not completely different, but that's the point I hope you would make. But by that time, it should be possible. But yes, we anticipate that the Croquet Association will continue in place for quite a long time until we can switch all the assets and to Croquet England, and it becomes an empty shell. But the website will be there irrespective of the charity. That's what you're saying, and that's what I'm hoping you would say.
So should we move back to Facebook, which is something I actually know something about? Has anyone else got any other questions that they would like some help with?